In recent years, China's brick-and-mortar economy has been facing unprecedented challenges. Many malls, shopping streets, and night markets that were once full of people are now much quieter. More and more shops are closing down, with "for rent" signs everywhere. A young man in China posted a video online showing the current state of local shops and malls. He explained how most physical stores are struggling to survive. Streets are filled with empty storefronts, and businesses can hardly keep going.
This is what the real situation looks like for local shops right now. Pretty much every store here is shut down. On this street alone, there are like 10 shops in a row, all closed. Honestly, if you went back about 10 years, these shop owners were driving Range Rovers and BMW X5s. They were doing super well, but now, most of them are nowhere to be found. Some people might say, oh, it's not because of e-commerce. But here's the thing. I've been standing here filming for 10 minutes, and I haven't seen a single customer walk by. The entire street is dead. It's actually kind of shocking. Back in the day, like 5 or 10 years ago, if a store closed down today, someone else would move in tomorrow and open up. That's how busy and profitable it used to be. But now, e-commerce can make more in one night than a physical store makes in a whole year. The rise of online shopping has hit brick-and-mortar businesses hard. That's also why so many European countries don't let e-commerce completely take over. They're trying to protect physical businesses and keep their local economies running in a healthy way. Because let's be real, only physical shops can bring people out onto the street.
According to recent reports, the closure rate in China's restaurant industry has reached a new high in 2024. Over the past year, more than 3 million restaurants have shut down across the country. In comparison, about 1.36 million restaurants closed in the entire year of 2023, meaning the number of closures has more than doubled within just 1 year. This wave of closures hasn't been limited to restaurants alone. It has spread across multiple sectors. In the past year, nearly 197,000 tea shops have gone out of business, along with over 300,000 hot pot restaurants, a category especially popular among young people. The bakery industry has also suffered, with about 95,000 bakeries shutting down nationwide. The situation in major cities is equally alarming. In the past year alone, more than 80,000 businesses in Beijing have closed their doors. In Shanghai, over 90,000 restaurants have shut down, with the closure rate in the city's food and beverage sector reaching a staggering 36%. Common everyday stores are disappearing one after another. Bedding stores have seen a 20% closure rate as fewer people are getting married and demand for household items has declined. Hardware stores have reported a 25% closure rate, while fruit and vegetable shops are at 28%, eyewear shops at 30%, mobile phone stores at 32%, and stationery stores at 35%. Even businesses that were once trendy and in high demand are struggling to survive. Popular hot pot restaurants are now facing a 38% closure rate. Gyms have been hit even harder, with a shocking 40% of fitness centers shutting down. In fact, sudden gym closures and owners disappearing with prepaid memberships have become a frequent headline in local news.
Guys, just look at how bad things are for physical retail businesses in China right now. I came to Gujie today, and every single shop inside this mall has shut down. There's even a big flower pot factory downstairs. And the whole place feels like a haunted house. This huge shopping center, and I'm literally the only person here. The only store still open is one doing food delivery. It's insane. I actually came here to check out some properties because people told me the rent here is cheap now. But honestly, what's the point? Even if the rent's low, you still need to invest up front. And with no customers around, how are you supposed to make it work? Look at this. A massive mall with no one inside. How can physical businesses survive like this? And this isn't some remote corner. This is supposed to be the CBD. If even the CBD looks like this, you can imagine how serious the problem is.
And it's not just small shops. Big malls, chain stores, and famous old brands are also under pressure. Carrefour, once one of China's most popular foreign retail chains, has officially ended its 28-year operation in the country. At its peak, Carrefour operated over 300 stores across China, serving millions of customers each year. However, the rise of e-commerce, shifting consumer preferences, and mounting operational costs took a heavy toll on the retail giant. In the past decade, Carrefour saw a sharp decline in sales and store numbers. By early 2023, only around 30 Carrefour stores remained open in China. In April 2024, the company confirmed the closure of its last remaining store in mainland China. This move officially marked the exit of the once dominant retailer from the Chinese market. Pacific Department Store, once a landmark name in China's retail scene, has also faded quietly from the market. Entering China in the mid-1990s, Pacific quickly expanded in major cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Chengdu, and Wuhan. At its peak, it operated over 15 high-end department stores, known for offering international brands and fashionable lifestyle products. However, from 2015 onward, Pacific Department Store gradually began shutting down its outlets across the country. By the end of 2023, only 1 or 2 stores remained, and in early 2024, the company officially announced the closure of its final department store in mainland China. The shutdown marked the end of a 28-year presence in the country's retail market. One major reason for the high closure rate of physical retail stores in recent years is the slowdown of China's overall economy. As economic growth decelerates, consumer confidence weakens, disposable incomes shrink, and spending habits become increasingly cautious. This shift has directly impacted traditional brick-and-mortar businesses, which rely heavily on stable foot traffic and consumer demand. Additionally, the ongoing property market crisis and rising youth unemployment have further reduced people's willingness and ability to spend in physical stores. Faced with declining sales and mounting operating costs, a growing number of offline businesses have been forced to shut down, accelerating the transformation of China's retail landscape. The economy right now is honestly in a tough spot. Just look at Wuhan's building materials market in 2025. The whole place is practically empty. Our tile store, along with so many others, hasn't made a single sale in half a month. Business everywhere is struggling, but people still need to buy homes, decorate, get married, right? Are young people really this laid back about life now? Malls and supermarkets are empty too. Seems like the only crowded place these days is the hospital. Where did everyone go? The restaurant business is even worse. It's so competitive now. Those little family-run husband and wife shops that used to be reliable are barely surviving. Especially this month, many of them have seen their sales drop like crazy. Before, a couple could run a place, maybe hire one person, and still make a decent living. Now it's tough. Daily sales falling from 3,000 to 2,000, 1,000, even a few hundred. And they're still hanging in there. Why? Because there are just too many restaurants now. The market's way too crowded, with too many options for people. Even regular customers aren't loyal anymore. They get tempted by the new places, lower prices, and trendy promotions. It's impossible to hold on to steady business when the competition's like this. Honestly, this year's economy is rough. Whole rows of storefronts are empty or up for lease with no takers. It's happening everywhere, and nobody knows when it's going to turn around.
Guys, who can relate to this? Honestly, I feel like you won't even believe what I'm about to say. Tomorrow's the Dragon Boat Festival, and the day after that's Children's Day. I just got off work and went back to my shop to check things out. And guess what? Not a single customer walked in today. 0. From this morning till now, not a single person. Look, there's a bank right across the street and a kindergarten over here. Still no one came in. I swear I'm not trying to spread anxiety, but seriously, I feel like I'm about to lose the title of boss at this point.
Some people have commented that livestream e-commerce is one of the most damaging business models, especially to China's real economy. Top-tier streamers have concentrated what used to be decentralized sales channels, taking income that was once shared among hundreds of thousands of jobs and funneling it into the hands of just a few individuals and their teams of a few hundred people, squeezing the survival space of physical retail businesses. For example, people have compared China's biggest live streamer Li Jiaqi's 2022 sales figures with those of the major retail chain China Resources Vanguard. In 2022, Li Jiaqi generated around 65 billion RMB in sales with only a few hundred employees, while China Resources Vanguard achieved approximately 69.2 billion RMB in sales through the operation of 300 physical stores across 112 cities nationwide, employing over 95,000 people. Though their sales figures are similar, the difference in job creation and value to the broader retail ecosystem is enormous. China's economy won't get better as long as e-commerce is around. The economy will never truly recover. And some so-called experts still worry about why ordinary people aren't willing to spend money. Well, let me tell you why. Listen carefully. It's because there are no more middlemen. You know, people say middlemen making a profit is unfair. But before online shopping existed, most of the money you spent was going to businesses right there on your local street or on the shopping streets in your city. Every small shop made a bit of money, and then they'd spend that money elsewhere. The money kept circulating within the city, flowing through different people's hands, and everyone made a little something from it. But now, what's the situation? People are spending all their money on e-commerce platforms and live-stream shopping. These people use the internet's advantages to wipe out the middlemen. Sure, you might be buying cheaper stuff now, but the money those platforms make never comes back to your city. It doesn't support your local shops or businesses, so local stores are all dying out. Companies go bankrupt, and everyone feels like there's no money to be made. An economy is like a river. Every part of it needs to have water flowing through it. But right now, that river has been diverted. The money doesn't flow through your area anymore. It's all been snatched away by e-commerce. That's why most of us feel broke. It's like a drought. Everything's dried up. And the poorer people get, the harder it is to make money. The harder it is to make money, the more people turn to online shopping, thinking they're getting cheap deals. Most people get fooled by the illusion of a low price. Let's not even talk about the quality right now. As long as they think it's cheap, they'll buy it. The funniest part is, some people complain that stuff in physical stores is expensive, but they still go looking for jobs in those same physical stores. If things keep going like this, I feel like most people in China are going to end up unemployed. And one day, people might not even be able to afford a meal.
Physical stores these days are about to shut down. No, actually, they've already shut down. The buildings are basically empty now. I keep saying it's tough to run a brick-and-mortar business, but people just complain that physical shops are a ripoff. People think online shopping got rid of the middlemen, but what it really got rid of were our job opportunities. Sure, you feel like you're getting stuff cheaper, but most of it is low-quality junk with no value and no guarantee, and when there's no profit margin, there's no room to survive. Stores are closing down, factories are shutting down, and in the end, the people getting laid off are the same ones spending money on online shopping. In the end, 98% of people are working to support the 2%, and those 2% are the ones causing the 98% to lose their jobs.
A store owner also mentioned that it's becoming increasingly difficult to run a brick-and-mortar business in his city. Most shop owners are feeling the impact of e-commerce, and he said that if the physical economy disappears, the entire city will lose its vitality.
Hefei is really tough right now. The closure rate for physical stores is estimated to be as high as 60%. What does that mean? It means that if you went out shopping a few years ago, there might have been 100 stores on the street. But now, there are only 40 left. And among those 40, it's not like every one of them is doing well. Very few stores are actually making money. Now, there's a situation happening in local shops in Hefei. For example, in clothing stores, a customer comes in, you warmly welcome them, help them pick something out, and after they finally find a piece they like, instead of buying it, they take a photo with their phone, compare prices for the same item online, and then order it online. With free shipping insurance, if it doesn't fit, they can send it back. It's become a whole routine. This is exactly what a clothing store owner at Wuye Plaza in Hefei told me. At his peak, he once had 5 stores in Hefei. Now there's only 1 left. If physical stores keep disappearing, the city's vibrancy will disappear too. Just think, what kind of scene would it be if you went out shopping and there wasn't a single store left on the street?
In addition to the impacts of economic downturn and the rise of e-commerce, increasingly homogeneous competition, high labor costs, and soaring rents have also become major factors restricting the development of the physical retail economy. In such an environment, many small and medium-sized merchants are struggling to survive. If China hopes to build a more balanced and sustainable economic structure, it will inevitably need a more refined and targeted policy environment to provide support. This includes introducing measures to assist community-based businesses and the local physical economy, encouraging diversified business models, and reducing excessive internal competition and harmful market practices. Only in this way can the country maintain the advantages of its digital economy while revitalizing and sustaining the vibrancy of offline commerce, ultimately achieving healthy interaction and balanced development within the overall economic structure.